We are checking in with George Pickens, the biggest addition of the Cowboys offseason, according to me, according to everybody, right? The biggest offseason addition is George Pickens. Joe said that he had a big touchdown yesterday. And we finally get to talk to George. Did we get to talk to George?
Yeah, George talked yesterday.
Okay, did he say anything that made you?
No.
Oh, God.
No. The good news is I've tried to say this in many ways. George is we can only judge George by what he does here, really. And how he interacts with us, how he interacts with his teammates. We know the narrative. We know the stories from Pittsburgh. But since he's been here, he's proved to be a coachable player. And you want to be able to be a coachable player. He's proven that he can listen to somebody. Can you can you listen to somebody? Can you listen to somebody? Will you sit down and listen to somebody? Clearly, George is listening to somebody because he has been vanilla toast. Plain Jane in his interviews. And it was funny because I was talking to Diggs yesterday, and George was doing his interview with the media. And I said, how was George? We got nothing. He was boring. We got nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
You know why he ain't say nothing? Because he ain't trying to give you nothing. They told him to be vanilla. Since he's been here, I've talked about this. I love being here. I love the environment. I really like my time in Pittsburgh. I love being in Dallas. I love being around Dak. I'm great with CeeDee. That's all he's saying. Ask him about speed. Oh, he has a great speed. His team has a lot of speed. I love being around a team with speed. Everybody, he's saying all the right things. And I'm saying give him credit for that. Now, again, to me, your true colors will come out if you that person, right? I think we've learned over the weekend that former Cowboys' true colors have came out.
Over the weekend.
Greg Hardy.
What did he do?
Pac-Man Jones.
What did he do?
Boss Man Fat.
I know what he did.
All got arrested.
Damn, really?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them. All of them.
Your true colors will come out, okay? And I remember Boss Man Fat, and everybody, why you drafted? Well, he's a hard worker. I know he smoked all that weed and did all this stuff. He's a hard worker.
Why you drafted
and
Boss Man Fat?
he's gonna get a second chance. He's gonna do this right here. Then he has a drive-by shooting, but
he didn't do it,
He was in the car.
Just a man wearing his chain happened to be in the SUV with whoever did it.
He didn't come and talk to the police. He had to make him talk to the police or face jail time.
Can I give advice to the people real quick? Just one piece of advice to the people?
Yes.
If you have something that you wear that is very specific to you, don't wear it when someone's going to get shot. That's it.
That's it.
And
when you're committing a crime.
He had his the vibes chain on.
How about stealing any kind of crime? When you're going to do something dirty, don't wear it.
Don't wear identifying things.
And
don't do crime.
So
I think that's
unless it's against a giant company that has insurance.
So the Cowboys didn't cut him, right? Kept him on the team for a couple more years. And all you heard was about he works hard, he's a different guy and all that, which is why I take what they say about players who are on the team with a grain of salt. And we know they've been blowing everybody
up. Don't worry, I'll help you.
We've been, they've been glazing everybody.
Yep.
Glazing them up.
Yep. Sure.
Shotty's had no negative things about to say about anybody. I don't care if they never peed a drop in the league. They're having the greatest officer in the league.
Which is why I know my guy Tyler Guyton's going to be a beast. Nobody else has to say it. He said, I'll say it. So I was bad.
They said all this great stuff. John Fossil, everybody's like, oh, yeah, Boss Man Fat's fine. Boss Man Fat's still Boss Man Fat.
The George Pickens things leads me, John, to the Wendy's Frosty Take. It's my Wendy's Frosty Take. Which I don't know if you guys knew this, but Wendy's has put a twist on a classic with all new frosty flavors. Find your new favorite flavor and clock in for a sweet treat time anytime, including midnight or later. A refresh on a classic, got to be Wendy's. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. My frosty take of the day.
Okay.
And frosty can go either way. It can be a bad take or a good take, however you feel.
I'm going to go good take.
Okay.
That frosty good.
My frosty take of the day, George Pickens is in his Kyrie Irving year. It's June. I can believe whatever I want.
What year he going to sit out a video?
What do you mean it is Kyrie Irving?
It's Kyrie Irving year.
Which one?
When the Mavericks acquired Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving had talked his way or tweeted his way or something his way out of everywhere he'd ever been.
Right.
And it
was a situation.
And it was the Mavericks, have acquired a problem. Like he's going to say something stupid. He's going to do something stupid. He's going to whatever.
Sound like you want Nico to be GM.
And Kyrie Irving, before Nico was here.
No. Nico brought Kyrie.
Nico brought Kyrie?
Yes, he did.
I didn't think he was here yet.
Relationship from Nike, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm a big Nico guy.
Okay.
I think you reshape this whole organization in his
Kyrie,
image.
AD, that's Nico guys.
I think you trade Cooper Flagg for some American guy that also played AAU growing up, which I'm sure Cooper did too, so he's probably fine. But I want to trade him for an aging, really good defender. That's what I'm looking for. But George Pickens has the opportunity to go somewhere where he's going to be happy, can show some growth, become a more mature person. And while everybody in Pittsburgh is going to look at him one way, in Dallas, we will look at him as, how do these idiots not love this dude? That's my frosty take.
Watching practice yesterday, first opening session of 11 on 11. First pass, CeeDee. Second pass to Pickens. Those were choices, okay?
Because if you didn't throw the second one to Pickens, he'd have been like,
those were choices, though. He went because I read the defense and I went through this breach and that was the open guy. No, first read.
Did you do
bam,
that? Did you do that again?
He did it again.
Bam, bam. I mean, I'm just saying, make your guy happy too now.
Well, it's supposed to be 1-2.
What? Now 1-2. Now
One,
back
two,
to
back
one.
to one. It's gonna be for George Pickens, kudos to him, man. Like kudos to him because so far, because
I say so far.
that's what life is about, right? If I get a second chance, which a lot of times in this league you don't always necessarily get a second chance, but if he's gonna get a second chance, then make the best of it. At least until you get your paper, and then
from someone else, so we can get a comp pick.
And then
Pickens gonna blow up, and we're gonna watch him walk.